Good evening, everyone.
Bonjour.
So, welcome to Wine and Real Estate.
Yes.
And tonight we're gonna open up a bottle of wine. So,
Yes, I'm excited. This is called the Strapper Grenache Shiraz Mataro. So that it looks like a good one, and it is. Where is that one from?
Barossa Valley from
Australia.
Australia. There you go. So, exciting mix, and can't wait to try it.
Yes.
And then we have some interesting guests coming on
good.
any minute. So, Findlay Mortgages, and we have some fun questions for them. So, we can't wait to interview them, and we hope you'll enjoy the conversation. And we have one kind of live question. We're going through a deal, and anyway, we're going to pick their brains and see how they answer it.
Take advantage of the fact that we're talking with experts.
Yes, so nice wine. Wow, this glass needs to be cleaned better.
He's the one who does the dishes, just so you know.
Yeah, that's it. So it's important to have the right glass when you're drinking wine. So good opening, and we're gonna aerate it a bit.
Yes.
So hey Janelle. So looking forward to this live. So yeah, so are we. And it's always nice on Tuesday nights we get to open some new wine and enjoy a conversation with some interesting guests.
Yes.
So should be fun. What do you think? Have you had a sip?
No, I just smelled it. It smells good. I definitely smell like the earthiness that it kind of said on the bottle. So
Yeah, and you can taste that it's from a warmer country, warmer climate. So
Australia is definitely warmer than Canada.
there you go. Wow, I never would have guessed. Never.
Mind blowing.
I know all the mind-blowing information you get on wine and real estate.
Yes, there you go. So just in case somebody didn't know, Australia is a warmer country than Canada.
Wow. So anyway, we're excited. I don't know if the guys will have anything to drink tonight, if they have some scotch or... Not everybody's a wine drinker. We're finding a lot of scotch and whiskey lately, so we should maybe try some.
A few whiskey experts. I can't even speak. I didn't even drink that much wine yet. But whiskey experts that we spoke with, I still can't say it right.
Whiskey experts. Yes. So, there they are coming on. There you go. Oh, I guess, I don't know if I just waved or... Oh, there it is. Perfect. Good evening. So we need to stand. We're a bit too short.
We should put the camera down instead of standing.
Yeah, we'll just angle it.
Yes.
What's going on, guys?
Yeah, how are you guys doing?
Good. Better now. We just opened up a bottle of wine.
Yes. Tell us what you guys are drinking tonight.
Aaron?
We are drinking a 2018 bottle of Decoy Merlot.
Oh, yes. I've seen it before.
Yeah.
Somebody who was on had it with us, so cool.
Ah.
So you're Merlot drinkers?
Yeah, we drink probably more wine than we should.
Yes, cheers.
Yes, cheers to that.
Yeah.
Salud, kampai.
So, you guys want to introduce yourselves for everybody who's listening online?
Sure. Yeah. So my name's Josh. I dabble in mortgages in my spare time. I enjoy long walks to beaches and wine.
Yeah, my name is Aaron. I'm one of the co-owners on the Finley mortgage team. Definitely full-time mortgage broker. You know, more time than what should probably spend a day working. But you know, in the middle of March, there seems to be some sort of unknown fact going around that houses are like disappearing after March because it seems like everyone's trying to buy them in March.
I haven't heard of that yet. No.
I haven't heard of it, but I'm seeing it physically with my eyes.
So Aaron's the full-time guy while Josh is on the beach. That's kind of how it works.
Someone's got to do the work while the other one's suntanning, right?
Yeah,
so
you need to work on your tan, though. You're a little fair there.
I blame my parents and the lighting.
He's got to look good for the social media because the social media attracts in the clients, and then we have someone who deals with the file. So it's a working team. It's a tandem process.
I can get a little bit crispy in the summer, but currently right now, not so crispy.
Yeah, well, if you're in Canada, it's kind of like that.
Mm-hmm. Where are you guys right now?
in Ottawa. I don't know where you guys are, but it was a beautiful day today. It was
Nice
actually
and warm.
8 degrees. I called François. I'm like, pull out your shorts.
No, it
It
did.
was a super nice day today.
Yeah, we're in like, so we have our head office in Guelph, but we actually live in the Kitchener area. So it was nice from the window. I guess we didn't really get to go outside a whole lot today, but it was pretty nice outside.
Oh yes.
That's
Yeah,
a
we know
shame.
what that's like too. It's too much work and not much fun.
Yes.
So are you guys the Findlay mortgage team? Is it just the two of you? Are you guys working with other people?
Sure. So there's actually 9 of us. So we decided that we opened our own brokerage about a month and a half ago. So we were with
Okay.
yeah we were with Dominion. We were with another brokerage, and we just decided we wanted to do our own thing and open up have our own autonomy, kind of drive it how we want to drive it. And we opened up our own brokerage about a month and a half ago. So there's about 9 of us at the moment, and growing. So yeah, we're trying to build a really cool place to work, but also kind of like maybe switching up how I guess mortgage brokerages are operated, and how maybe setting the standard as to how people maybe connect and speak to their mortgage broker. It's a lot of like a huge discrepancy in brokers, whether it's really good ones, not so good ones, talking to the banks. We're just trying to maybe set a bar here as to what that looks like.
Yeah, 'cause it's crazy. Sometimes you speak to a broker and they say this can't be done. Then I call the other person. Yeah, of course we do it all the time. And then the other person, sometimes, well, okay, maybe pick one of the options, but if yes, no, and maybe, that's crazy.
So what are you guys trying to do differently from compared to maybe Dominion where you were before?
We're trying to do differently. I think like Josh said, just try to set, like a newer level of like standards for, how to hold their mortgage brokers too. And I think the big thing that we find from a lot of the investors is they just have inconsistent experiences with mortgage brokerages, and they want someone. No one wants to continuously hop around from one broker to another, and not being able to build that relationship. And that's really what we're trying to do, is build like a very relationship based type of brokerage where we're able to provide a level of service that our clients love, and they love to come back to, and building the relationships with them, because we understand how the transaction works, and we understand that one transaction affects your entire ability down the road to be able to continuously reproduce your goals and your ambitions. So for us, building that relationship and getting to know our clients and understanding what they're looking to do and what they want to do, that allows us to start thinking long term. Hey, how does this transaction affect what we're looking to do here? Maybe an operating line of credit over a bunch of buildings is better than doing individual refinances. It's just a solutions type based brokerage that provides custom solutions to the clients for what they need, and not trying to just fix them in the box of like the big bank lenders essentially.
Sounds magical.
It's a very, very big dream that we're working on. I think the investor market is super underrepresented in the broker world. It's a lot of pain points that a lot of investors have, whether that's scaling or communication or having the right products and services or access to the right source of capital at certain times. And we're just trying to make that more mainstream, I guess, trying to find a better way to do things. And at the end of the day, my mentor when I first got in the business said, you can just do one thing better every single day. And somebody else, you're going to stand out. So just continuously trying to do that one thing.
Yeah, that's great. It's a good plan.
Yeah, no, that's great. And I agree with the relationship. It's nice to have that one mortgage broker, the file inside out, and we don't have to start from scratch every time. Like, yes, I have 10 buildings. I have this, I have that. No, I'm not employed anymore. And like just repeating the same thing over and over. So
you have to answer actually the one mystery question that we found a lot with mortgage brokers. So I'm actually going to put you guys on a little bit of the hot spot.
Yes.
But what I found a lot with mortgage brokers, and maybe you'll tell me that it's not the case with you guys, and in which case I will call you. We send all of the paperwork.
And then it disappears.
And then we send all the paperwork.
And then you send it again.
And then we send all the paperwork.
And again.
So I'm just wondering, is it because everyone has
you need a fresh copy every day?
You need a new copy regularly? I don't know.
That is funny. So that is a real issue. The disappearing paperwork is a real issue that most brokers have. So
Even if
we
there's
actually
a portal, I have a portal, I can see it, like
Yep,
PDF,
that
line by line, and I need to send it again. I'm like, well, I can fax it 80 times in a row if you want, no problem. I've done it once. I put on read file on a fax machine and it just kept going.
Yeah, he actually did do that.
I was
once.
angry.
But I'm just wondering, like,
yeah. You're getting 80 copies of this. Keep them all.
Yes.
like I'm just wondering, is it the tools that mortgage brokers use that make that happen? Is that kind of the thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say the technology is pretty archaic, to be honest with you. Like the processes in which most of the industry works at right now, a lot of it's just like send me an email and send me the PDF document. And if a broker's working on maybe 8 or 10 or 15 files at a time and all those PDFs coming in at different times, that's going to obviously affect their ability to stay organized. And
Yeah.
I'm not saying most of them are unorganized, but you know, most of them aren't organized. Most of them are kind of just like, let me just deal with what I got. I'm going to fix it. I'm going to figure it out, and I'm going to move on to the next thing. Where we decided to create use a software that automatically actually allows our clients to upload documents and have direct contact with our backend. So you can see when it's uploaded, see if it's correct, see if we need anything changed, have direct contact with our backend. So there's no double submitting documents. Yeah, we actually, when COVID first started, we ended up using software that uses artificial intelligence. So it scrapes the application and figures out exactly what documents you need based off of your income type. And then it'll automatically request documents so you can do your application and upload documents and have communication with us all in the same spot.
That's really cool.
That sounds lovely.
Yeah, you have your own broker portal that you can upload things to. So even if a PDF copy were to get deleted by accident, we can go back into the portal where the hard copies are and can like continuously re-download them. We can send notifications to the borrowers if there's errors or if sometimes they upload a T1 instead of a T4 or something like that. You know, we can leave a note and say, hey, like just heads up, this is, you know, it's not the right document. If this is the one we're looking for. We can let them know when we receive documents. There's a button that we can click and just say receive, and it just lets you guys know that, okay, well, they have gotten them. Like I didn't just send them off to some random stranger who has all my identification and stuff. Like they are received by the proper source. So, and the application itself is really smooth. We get some pretty good feedback off of the application, having it online and easy to use and just simple. You know, like the last guy I was talking to, you know, he basically said, yeah, sorry, I was actually waiting a couple of days because I was just dreading having to do the application, but you know, it was actually a lot more enjoyable. And I was like, no, don't wait, like let me know and I'll help you out. But no, it seems to get pretty good feedback and people like having it online, and you don't have to take 30 minutes out of your day and set it aside to be on the phone with a broker to go over it. Now you can do it at home. You can take 15 minutes in between, you know, taking the kids to school or whatever, or doing laundry. Like you can start it, pause it, and then continuous it when you have to do it. So it makes it a little bit easier on the clients. They're not trying to set time aside to have a full phone call, and it's a little bit easier that way.
Yeah, well, investors don't have a lot of time. You know, we're
Time
always
is money.
busy, so
That's the thing. Yeah.
Even our kids tell us now, time is money. Get with it.
Well, they're learning early, right? At the end of the day, as soon as you realize that the actual currency in the world isn't dollars, it's time, and it's all you have, because the people who finally get it realize that you're once you start monetizing, or you stop monetizing your hours into dollars and start realizing that your currency is the time that you have, it's all that actually matters. So the time is money, and I never really got it. Like obviously, I heard the concept when I was a kid. I was like, "Oh, time is money, sure, whatever." I trade my time for money, but like, it's truly it's all you have. It's all I have. It's all everybody has in the world, right? We're all running out of it. So.
And then you start a business and realize spending 17 hours a day on your business isn't as fun as what everyone probably makes it seem like. So.
Yeah, that's why you need some wine.
Well, you know, when you lose your time, you can't get it back.
No, that's
exactly.
When you lose money, you can always try and get it back, right? So
you always make more money. You can't make more time, right?
no,
So
exactly.
No.
As we get older, we were thinking about that. We were walking, we're like, Oh my goodness, I think we're like halfway through our life.
Yeah, yeah, because like the average man lives to 81, I think she said. So I'm 40 and a half, so I'm halfway. So this is it. So.
Yeah, super positive for our conversation. So
the expiration date's coming up quick.
The backside is flipping, buddy. Getting there.
So I feel like I'm gonna be turning 30 in a month, so like I'm right there with you. I'm coming up.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Aaron and I were actually just saying, as you get older, we find that time is moving faster, and it's really like it's a weird phenomenon where I didn't understand it because I think maybe it's because you were just like enjoying the actual flow of life, or you were as a child or as a kid or as someone who was young and getting into it. You don't necessarily realize like the flow of things, and then you get into it. It's like that. I feel like the weeks blend into like days blend into weeks and into months, and it's like. It's March.
Yeah.
It was January last week.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember our like New Year's dinner, and it seems not long ago, but it's been quite a while now. So, yeah.
I think it's the deadlines. You start working, especially with us, like it's just I start gauging my days by like closing dates, and I think once you start just looking at deadlines and looking ahead. When you're looking at like, I got stuff on the 31st closing, that's all you're thinking about. And next thing you know, like your weeks are flying by. The 31st is here, and then it's April, and then it's December, and then I missed out on another summer, I guess.
So you have to enjoy the ride, and that's really important. I was speaking with Sarah Larby. I collaborate with her on many things with the Right Club and things. And she was saying that's one thing she wishes she did more is to enjoy the ride, like the process, because she retired at 36, but she said she should have taken more vacation. And I'm starting to feel the same. We should take on more vacation and enjoy the life. So
François was definitely having a moment today where I felt like he needed more vacation.
Yeah.
I feel that.
Yeah, I would love to go. Especially just being locked inside, with COVID and stuff, not really doing much, and with the winter, like going out today, like it smelled like spring outside. Like you could just tell it was starting getting that spring weather. It does. It makes you really want to go away. And I'd love to be in like Mexico or somewhere hot right now. And
that'd be great.
Nice green and lush. So yes.
So do you travel a lot?
Sorry.
Do you travel a lot?
No.
Not since 2019. But no, we have kids, so it's harder to travel when you have the kids. But then we'll be empty nesters in about 3 or 4 years, so maybe.
Yeah, we got them really young, so we could be active in early 40s and be able to travel and do things. And we are planning a bit of a major lifestyle at some point that we live part like snowbirding, but probably across Canada and different countries. So.
Yeah, I'm kind of going to adventure out now that we're in our 40s. So
yeah, we can still walk around.
Yeah, we can still walk around.
Well, we can still walk around.
You start thinking about that 81 thing.
Yeah.
So, are you guys also in real estate investors yourselves, or are you mostly focusing with real estate investors in your business?
Sure, yeah. So I do like a little bit of like private lending and stuff. So I'm really started focusing on just like building our business at the moment. Obviously, the active side of our business is going to generate more in a short period of time than our passive stuff is at the moment. But we're looking to get into about 12 units this year, Sarah and I, to start it, and then kind of move forward from there. Obviously, the passive income for the last little while has obviously been a great indicator as to how things can move forward. And as I got into this space, I was brought into mortgage brokering from one of my business partners, Scott. He's my uncle, and he taught me at a decently young-ish age. I think as soon as I finished university, like the power of compound interest and like investing, and then he taught me how private mortgages. So I kind of had a little bit of a competitive advantage going into being a mortgage broker, understanding the private market before really understanding the conventional market. So the opportunity there to be able to multiply your capital at a decent rate is it's an interesting investment vehicle that most people don't ever really get to explore, which is something that I speak to a lot of people about, because at the end of the day, like most people come to us and say, hey, like I need $10,000 of cash flow to be able to quit my job.
Yeah.
And to do that, I need $10 million in real estate to do that.
That's a lot.
And it's like that. If you had $1 million in private money in the market, there's your $10,000 a month. Like,
Yeah.
so people don't understand that you don't have to necessarily scale a portfolio to an unimaginable amount and do all this work over 2 decades to be able to get to where you got to go. It's just a matter of finding the investment vehicle that's right for you. And it's one of the things that we obviously help our clients with as well. But, currently right now, we're just doing a little bit of private lending and creating some proprietary mortgage lending products right now for a market that isn't necessarily tapped into. But, we are looking to get in about 12 units this year.
Okay.
Cool.
Well, that's still pretty aggressive with all of the work that you're already doing.
Yeah, the 17-hour days and all that.
Well, that's the other thing. It's just it's tough for us to really be out analyzing properties and to have a team in place. It's just we're already trying to focus on growing like our brokerage team. We have had the fortunate ability to grow relatively quickly and grow our business quickly, and to be able to scale properly and keep up with that. We're hiring underwriters. We have a few document collection specialists and an admin. So, it really just comes down to where do you immediately need to like allocate your funds, and is it industry partners on the investing side who can go out there and inspect the properties for you or put the offers in for you and kind of build a like a reservoir of properties, or is it paying your admin staff, creating the business side of it and having all those processes in place? And that's just where we kind of find ourselves right now, is in the middle of hiring and trying to correctly hire as well too. It's nothing's worse than hiring the wrong people.
You need to be slow to hire and quick to fire. That's been my motto. So when I had staff, but
that's a good motto. Yes, go ahead.
It's hard to find good
employees. And the right skills and the right mindset and the right attitude and
that's it. It's the mindset too. So it's the idea of what we're trying to do as a whole, right? Like, how are you going to disrupt an industry, or how are you going to create something that isn't created yet if you have people who aren't willing to think outside the box and who aren't willing to kind of like subscribe to the vision of what you're doing? And it's not for everybody. It is what it is, but we're trying to surround ourselves with the right people and the right tools. And one person doesn't necessarily need to have all those things, but all of us together need to come up to create that puzzle, right? So something we're working on. It's an interesting journey for sure. Mm-hmm. Definitely something I didn't think we'd be dealing with so soon, but I'm very fortunate. Very fortunate.
It's kind of compounded right now. Like, Jennifer has a team at work, and it's hard with COVID. A lot of people don't want to work. Some people are making more money not working, or different situations. So it's not easy to be an employer right now, and you have to motivate people and keep them motivated and excited about what they do. So it's important to have a good vision like you have, and a interesting story, something different. You're changing things up. You're not reproducing what the others are doing. So
well, I think in 2020, if you're just reproducing the same thing, you're kind of wasting your time.
Yeah, you are.
I agree. I think 2019 was a do or die situation for a lot of people. I think it was, you need to pivot and adapt and find a way to be able to excel in a world that's changing very quickly. And I think if you didn't, then unfortunately you're probably not in the greatest situation at the moment. And it's kind of funny. I read this book, like it was literally the perfect time. Like the stars aligned. I was reading this book by Grant Cardone, and he was talking about. I remember exactly what the book was. It wasn't 10X. It was something else. And he was talking about how back in 2008, he had a company, and he was talking about how there are a handful of different types of archetypes of people and how they deal with certain situations. And one of them, so when like the crash happened, he said there was 4 different people. And one of them was somebody who just like kind of took all their stuff and hid there and was like, we're just going to ride it out. Don't do anything. Yeah. And there's another one who's like, like we're just going to play it safe. We're just going to do the status quo, play it safe. It's okay. We'll figure it out. And there's one that's like, we're going to adapt. We're going to figure it out. We're going to find whatever this is and push through. And there's one who just goes all in. And like, we're just going to go hard. We're going to continue to do it. And obviously the one who adapts and just pushes forward, but even though it's uncomfortable where people are scared, almost like subscribing to when like buy when there's blood in the streets. Like when people are scared, you need to adapt and find a way to be able to push forward. And that was kind of like, obviously easier said than done. It was a very like scary moment to be able to push forward when everybody's kind of freaking out. Like, I remember back in March, like credit froze. No one was lending any money. The banks didn't know if Armageddon was happening. Like, people didn't know if the lawyers were going to be closing deals. Like, it was pretty scary. So I guess
had a buying spree in March because of that. We're like, let's buy. People are scared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In March, just
Okay.
before everything closed down.
Yeah, the weekend they announced the pandemic, that's when we had an open house for our place, and it sold way over asking. And then we're like, let's go buy properties. And yeah, we had to put in those clauses. Well, maybe things will be delayed, and things were delayed in some cases, but it was an awesome time to buy because no multiple offers, no bidding wars. It was just great.
That changed very quickly, though.
Yeah, it lasted about 2 weeks.
Yeah, you guys got in at the perfect time.
Yeah, it was perfect. We actually tripled our portfolio since COVID started.
So it's been very good for us. Like,
Yeah.
not the health-wise and all that, but I mean, portfolio, it's been very good. So
because it instead of going out and visiting properties and going out and doing this, you're just like, bam, let's do a Zoom, another we're going to FaceTime this property and that property. So it kind of freed up time because everybody was like okay with that. Whereas before, if we had asked an agent, hey, do you want to FaceTime a property with us? They'd be like, I think you should come and see it. Like,
sight unseen across the country, they were fine with it now, and in the past they wouldn't have been. Now we're like, yeah, I'm sending you the money, you transfer. We never see the property, we don't care, but the money's coming in and out, so it's perfect. Mostly in, not out.
Yeah,
I love what it's done to the entire industry in general. Like now you don't have to go to the lawyer's office to close. You know, you can.
Oh, that's the best part ever. We already had that before. We had like a virtual lawyer, but now it's much more common.
Yeah.
So we love that.
And you can't close at the lawyer's office with wine and pajamas.
Yeah, on Saturday morning. Well, not morning with the wine, but afternoon.
Yeah, there is some limits to that.
Yeah, for sure. I gotta charge you one sec, guys. Talk to Aaron.
So where do you guys own the majority of your properties? Are you buying all in Ontario, or do you guys have a specific area that you like to buy in?
We'll buy in any good secondary market.
Yeah. So where there's cash flow or space for a lift. So Canada and USA were open. Right now it's more Ontario heavy, but now we're looking at the East and the West Coast much more right now. So
and Detroit.
And Detroit, Michigan, and then Florida as well. So yeah, we're quite diversified, but we want more variety in the future too. So.
I think it's good not to put all your eggs in one basket. Like I find that people, if you're concentrating all on one market, you have to like go all in and really.
Like Ottawa or Ontario, there's some great appreciation, but much less cash flow, while other provinces, there's some awesome cash flow, but no appreciation. So it's fun.
We're definitely seeing a lot of our clients start to look elsewhere for investment property. It's just obviously the appreciation. If you bought in the last few years, you made a ton of money.
Yeah.
But we're seeing now, even in the multifamily space, unless you're extremely liquid, the valuations are far outperforming what the rents currently are in the market. So you have to come up with a huge down payment to get conventional financing, or you're looking at a very, very expensive situation, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
So what do you find would be your typical kind of challenge working through a deal with an investor would be? Like, do you find finding
down payment, and the big thing right now is just a lot of investors are quitting their jobs and going into real estate investing, and they'll flip one property and they make $100,000 and they're like, okay, I have income coming in now. I'm like, well, you have a source of income coming in, and you're like, the way lenders look at real estate investing, it's a very finicky subject, especially on like the conventional lender side. Just because you did one flip in a corporation, you made like $100,000 off of it, doesn't mean you're making $100,000. They look at can you reproduce this? Like if you were to flip 4, 5, 6 properties and make $100,000, at least you're the amount you're making doesn't change, but you're able to reproduce it, and they can see that you're continuously you went out there and you did 4 or 5 6 flips. You have the ability to do it. they're more likely to look at that and maybe allow you to use a 1 year stated type business income. But that's, I think a lot of people need to start, consulting with someone first before they kind of go out there, quit their job, and then want to be able to start buying real estate, because now you can't really, like, and if you don't have a favorable source of income for 1 year, a lender is not going to look at it, and you're going to have a hard time doing even stated income type products. So you're really limiting yourself to the private side to be able to move forward and starting to buy until you have 2 or 3 years of reproducible history coming in a corporation. So
yeah, that's so true. That's something that we had to be strategic about. So I kept my job for that was one of the reasons. And also we have other sources of income, so that we had before François quit his job. So that also helps. So you're right. You have to totally be strategic about that. You can't just quit your job if you're not done accumulating properties.
That's it. So
exactly. Yeah.
Joint ventures, which can be okay. It depends what your goals are. And that's a whole different ball game.
Yeah.
And also, we're all about passive income. So of course you need to have money coming in from investments and other things as well, like maybe contracts or and B lenders. We love our B lenders. So
that's what we love as well.
It's a deposit. So.
Yeah, they definitely help you stretch that qualification out for sure. And one of the things we're working on is like undemonizing the whole B lender space. Everyone's like, B lenders, why would you do that? Like, it's so bad. It's like, well, you obviously haven't tried to scale a rental portfolio before. No. Stretching the GDS.
Well, and sometimes the terms can be better than the A lenders, depending on what you're wanting to do. Like if you're wanting to refinance after just 1 year. And some of the interest rates are actually not that high.
No, they're not bad at all. And like one of our friends, I think he's tuning in right now, he calls them A- lenders. So it's perfect.
I like it. A-.
I'll say, yeah. I mean, you can get, like an owner-occupied property on the B side for like 2.75%. Like
that's not bad at all.
You can get rental properties on the A side for 2.6%. Like it's, and when you understand that, like, 2 years ago, or not even a year and a half ago, A rates were 3%. It's really not that bad of a rate. And then on the B side, you got a 30 and 35-year amortization. You can mitigate the cost, and it's such a ongoing topic. But like rates aren't everything, and everybody, the first thing they look at is rates. And hey, how come I got 2.15 and this guy got 2.12? And I'm like, you want the additional $20 a month? I mean, like. You don't get it, I guess, if you want.
But to you.
Yeah. For real though, I would give you the $20.
But and it's funny because those people are also the ones who will, I want a variable rate. So I'm like, so you really don't care if your rate fluctuates at all. So you're already willing to give up $100 a month, but you're gonna fight tooth and nail over saving like $20 in a month, and it just doesn't make sense, because it's. If you really cared about your rate and your cash flow every month, and you go with a fixed rate. Like it.
How do you feel?
You don't get
how you actually feel.
You don't get the best of all the world. So. Well, it's just like I just don't think everyone thinks about it, right? Like they know the benefits. Oh, I want to go to break, but I also want a low rate. But I also want stability in my cash flow. And real estate isn't a uniform system. There is no one product that works for everything. You get very limited aspects in certain things, like. A fixed rate, you don't get, you may not have favorable exit penalties. You get the consistent cash flow, and then you'd have to pick your term in and around how long you want it to be in there. If you wanted to do a BRRRR, both a 1 year fixed, make sure you just exit out on renewal and you don't pay anything. And your cash flow is going to be consistent.
Yeah, the issue is the instant gratifications. All the BRRRR people are like, no, like 4 months, like as fast as I can do it. And need to do it to get out. It's like
it's not. It comes with age and experience, like a good wine.
Like a good wine. Yeah.
But I think that real estate investors have to make sure that the deal isn't too tight, that there's room to move, and that $20 is
not going to make or break your deal. Like if it does, then that's not a good deal, right?
Don't do it.
Well, and that's exactly it, right? If you're stressing over this much, I'm like. You understand you're going to lose way more cash flow when you BRRRR your property 50,
Oh, yeah.
1.5%, and now you're pulling out an additional 200,000 in mortgage amount, you're gonna lose so much more cash flow on that refinance at the end. Like you just force appreciated your property $200,000. Like you're gonna lose that cash flow. So
Yeah.
it's just understanding the whole thing. And you're right, it really does come with experience and just understanding how, you know, your initial, how things are going to change from when you first get into your property on acquisition versus your BRRRR a year later down the road. And just understanding that, you know, you're probably going to lose a little bit of cash flow down the road just because you're getting a larger mortgage amount. So
Yeah.
Yeah, really. I mean, well, you have to really think about your exit strategy before you purchase anyways, right? Because if your BRRRR is going to be the exit strategy, then you have to make sure that you're still going to be making cash flow after the BRRRR.
Otherwise, it's a flip to sell. So then it's a very different strategy. And that's a good segue into one of our questions. So what if you buy a property cash, like multifamily, like a 12 unit, like you guys were mentioning, if we bought it cash and then you increase the rents and optimize the place, how long do you need to stabilize the place before you can finance it because you paid for it cash? So now you're financing it. Do you need 6 months, 3 months? What's the deal if you have experience with that?
Asking for a friend.
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Very good friend.
I have two answers to that. Number one, conventional financing, so not a multifamily, just a regular BRRRR. A lender wants to see minimum of 6 months, maybe a year. Take a lot of photos before and after. Keep all the receipts. Show them what you've done. Make a case. You can prove it, right? When it comes to, because the value of the property is specifically focused on obviously the comparables in the area, and the comparables are going to be based off of obviously the condition of the house as well. Whereas multifamily is based off of a different valuation system. It's based off of the net operating income of the property. And if you increase the net operating income of the property, the value is going to go up. So I've seen like people who do BRRRRs, you know, obviously it's a little bit bigger project, but there isn't really a gestation period for how long you need to do it for. If you can prove the current rent roll in the property and the current expenses based off the new rent roll in the property, banks will look at it. So it's just a matter of as soon as you stabilize the property and you can show consistency in either the income and expenses over like a few months, you know, there is no really like this is going to take 3 months, this could take 6 months. It's just consistency. You know, you need to sign leases. So can you prove the actual income? Yeah, can you prove like the expenses? So if you individually meter it instead of having the overall, you know, place covered by yourself. You know, can you show the consistency in the utilities being individually metered to each unit? Stuff like that. So, I mean, most of them will do it right away as long as you stabilize it.
Perfect.
Okay. Oh,
That's great because, a good friend of ours is going through that right now. So buying cash and fixing it and then financing. So it's refinance, but yes and no because it's been paid cash. So
It's tricky. So large amounts of cash in general always raise red flags.
Oh yeah,
doesn't matter.
Put in $1 million and
It doesn't matter what lender you have. If you have $1 million in cash into anything and you just did it 3 months ago, the lender's gonna be like, okay, where'd the cash come from? I might need you to show me 90 days history of where your actual deposit came from if you're looking to refinance this soon. Like, definitely be prepared to be able to show it. Now, most financial institutions are doing obviously their AML checks as to where the cash is coming from on deposit when you're purchasing the property. Now, if you're just buying it in cash, you know, there isn't really any AML. Like you quite literally bring a check to your lawyer's office. So,
but I mean, it can be proven like from proceeds of sales and things like that.
Yep.
And the money laundering we normally do and all that stuff. So
the Marty Burger.
I also like to joke about that all the time because it's amazing the lengths that they go through to make sure that you're not laundering money, which I wouldn't even know how to do in the first place.
Yeah, it's like, well, that money did not appear in my bank account. I mean, it came from somewhere, but anyway.
That's funny. Yeah, no, it's.
Listen, I wouldn't be buying the beat up property in Chatham if I was just laundering millions of dollars. Okay,
yes.
buying a big mansion somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. So, what would be your best tip for real estate investors when they're going to go finance a property?
I would just honestly just
Like,
yeah,
what,
just
what,
reach.
what drives you crazy? What's your pet peeves?
Yeah.
Let me
Oh,
think. One sec. One sec. Other than pulling the rug from your mortgage broker, don't do that. Like if you're gonna create a relationship, don't like shop them. Like just be like either you're not happy or you're happy, or this is gonna fit your solution or it's not. Don't be like thanks for the offer and then go get somewhere else and pull the rug out of somebody. Like if you're gonna make a relationship with somebody and you're gonna be an investor and do this for a long time, but create a relationship. It's our job to be able to find a solution for you. If you don't like the solution we've given you, we'll go find another one for you. That drives me insane because the respective time
Yeah.
doesn't really register with some people, especially since you don't necessarily have to take your deal. Like I got a million things going on. Like, I would love to help you. I will commit to you, but sometimes the commitment on the back end isn't always there for some people. They don't understand the concept of it. So, I can't get my time back, but I can get money back.
yeah, and
That's it.
it stresses our relationship with our lenders too. Like, especially in a month like March where everyone like just it's crazy. When we have someone who comes to us in the second week of March and says, "Hey, I need to close on the 31st," and we rush together to put together private seconds, and we get a first position, and then we put it all together, and they're like, "Okay, cool, I'm gonna think about it and go look around." And I'm like, "Well, no, because now like I have my lender rushing around to do this, and I told my guy, hey, I know you're super busy, but like I need a favor, I need you to do this." When I just cancel the deal, it doesn't allow me to do that for another investor who really needs the deal to close in that short of time period. And the more investors the more times it happens for us, the less our word means when we tell a lender, if you ask for a favor and they're like, you never follow through, man. Like your client always cancels, they can't keep giving you stuff. So it's just understanding like how does it affect our relationship with that investor and how it affects the business down the road, but also just how it affects our ability to do business for everybody else when we try to deliver on things and our clients pull out last minute. And we get it, like it happens sometimes, miracle money shows up out of left field and everyone experiences that. But there's some situations where it's just it's not necessarily as needed. So but I'd say that's probably pet peeve number one.
Yeah, pet peeve number one is respect on time.
Oh yeah, I can totally get that.
No, I always go, like, we try to go back to the same people, even if we have to submit the document 80 times. But then we tell them, okay, this is getting ridiculous. Like, maybe check your email or something, your server, and then we'll keep working with you.
I think
pet peeve number two is just we try to be very friendly to those who are just not technology inclined, and we get it. But sometimes we'll get, don't send your mortgage broker text message pictures of like your 30-page mortgage commitment or like your
or a photo of your screen. Like it doesn't work.
Photos of your computer screen don't work either. So
like a screenshot of their
and we have great technology. Like if you can't find your tax documents and you don't have a PDF, for $30 I can get you 2 full years of tax CRA documents PDFs for $30, and it's the best money you'll ever spend because it's all there. I can send it to your email. Now you have copies moving forward. I have copies. You don't have to try to take scans or text pictures of every single page of every single document. I can just we can get it for it. It's usually same day.
Wow, that's a good tool to have. Yeah, and I'm sure some people $30 they would pay it definitely.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
if you could come up with the $30, I would pay it for you just to not have to put together a bunch of pictures and stuff.
PDF editor going in and like adding photos and like merging them together.
Wow.
The woes of the broker.
I think it's so hard though because you're so disorganized in your paperwork. Like you just end up with paper everywhere, and then your mortgage broker asks you for the T4 from 2018. You're like, I want to kill them.
I don't remember 2018. That's like 4 months ago.
I'm sure eventually the technology is going to get there where we can literally just hook up to the CRA. Like eventually we'll just be able to instantly request documents. You'll be able to give us access. We'll just have it automatically, like a connection between the CRA and like our lenders. Yeah, and just streamline the process, which would make sense.
I'm surprised we're not there yet.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, it would be a lifesaver for sure.
Right. I mean, once you have a good accountant and bookkeeping and stuff, it's easy. Like us, last time it was easy. I just like, oh, our accountant has all that. So we just
Yeah.
went to the portal and just download, and there you go. Everything's
Yeah. I love it. So you can tell the guys who've been doing it for a while and the ones who haven't. It's like the guys who've been doing it for a while, CC's their accountant. Can you get me this? And then the accountant just sends all this stuff.
Yeah. See below.
pay you so many dollars an hour, like just forward it. I don't have to do this.
100%.
I pay this so I don't have to ever deal with this ever again.
Exactly.
Yes, exactly.
But they need a credit card statement, and then you have to pull it. So
Yeah.
that's not so bad.
Yeah. And like, just so everyone knows, we hate having to go back 6 times and ask for documents. And it's not always the mortgage agent doesn't have his stuff together. He's disorganized. Sometimes the lenders just are super picky with what they want. And we know how annoying it is to go back and say like, hey man, like you accidentally cut off this 0. And I know it's a 0 and it's actually a penny of it, but no, they want to see the whole thing. And like, we get it, and we wouldn't be doing it if we didn't ask. Like, really, really, really have to do it. And so just, we don't just like asking for documents.
No. I sit here and just like giggle to myself when I ask for that.
I'm gonna ask them for that. I actually cried over a mortgage application once with Home Trust. Like,
Home Trust.
Oh yeah, that happened.
And the lawyer told us if ever you deal with them ever again, you're out.
We're not working with you.
So
I'm sure nobody in Home Trust is on here listening, but Home Trust is
publicly bash them.
they definitely offer.
Wait till my deal at Home Trust closes before we tear them apart.
They offer solutions. So like, if there are no more solutions in the market, they offer some solutions that are beneficial to some clients who might need them, but they may be a little bit more difficult to work with sometimes.
But that was actually the easiest mortgage to break ever. So
yeah, it was the easiest mortgage to break.
Really?
Yeah.
But it wasn't the easiest to get.
So like to get it was total hell, but to leave, like almost no penalty. It was like a dream. We're like, whoa, I was expecting an army of lawyers and crazy stuff. It was super easy, so I guess you pay it forward.
Yeah, you paid for it in tears and blood. It's okay.
Oh, yes.
I mean, it could have just been like bad communication or whatever, but I was like, oh my goodness, this was a tough application.
And it was a stupid amount, 110,000.
It was, the
ridiculous.
smallest mortgage we've ever had, like 110,000 on a little property anyway.
And it was the hardest one. I'm like, I just put it on a credit card next time. It's gonna be
literally using my HELOC to buy the tenant next time.
I know. I'm like, I think the next step is to give like a hair of my firstborn child or something.
Before they were born.
We actually mortgage brokers started taking children as collateral, cars, kidneys.
Anything that sells really well in the black market is good for collateral.
Oh, that's funny.
So back to more serious stuff. So what else do we have on our list?
Oh, we were serious.
Yeah, what's your why? So what drives you to work those 17 hours a day, have pasty white, looking at people having fun outside?
Yeah, I think
What's your why?
first thing, like before I really got into mortgages, I was just trying to find a way to be, free and independent in a sense. And no one wants to work till they're 80 years old, right? Like everyone wants to find a career where they can create a business, work in it for 5 to 7 years and then sell it and, recoup, your time and energy in. And that wasn't initially my goal. I think initially, before I really got into mortgages, it was just trying to find a way to, to make a lot of money. But now that I'm in the mortgages and, I understand, the relationships that come with it and just how the whole community works, I think that's really what drives me now that I got into the mortgage side and I've started to actually experience it and understand it. And we've been in it for like 3 years now. We've done the first-time buyer side, and now we're doing the investing side. And the relationship side is just unbelievable on the investing side. I mean, the communities are huge. Everyone's pretty good at helping each other out and answering questions and stuff. And I see it in all the forums. You'll have a question asked, and there'll be 10, 18, 20 responses on it. And, everyone's really good at helping out. And the people you meet, the stuff you learn, you know, like just the stuff that you learn. And I know for myself, I mean, working with the investors has definitely done boatloads to you know, increase my own knowledge and how to do deals, because all the investors are always trying to push the limit, right? There's always something. You're like, can we do this? And I'm like, I don't know, I've never heard of this before, but like, we'll find out. And you know, just by asking those questions to lenders has definitely, you know, taken my learning curve over the top in that. But it's just financial freedom, being able to build something, take away the relationships, the life skills. You know, you'll never know when you're going to need those relationships down the road and when that might come into play. You know, if you want to quit your job in 5 years from now, you know, and you're looking for something, and you reach back out to one of the investors you were able to help, and you know, they're looking, you know, hey, there might be another career opportunity or something there. So
yeah, it's so true.
a whole lot of things in one. But
I gotta agree with Aaron. I'd say the reason why you get up every day to work for yourself is legacy. At the end of the day, like, why are we all here? Like, what are we doing with the time we have? So, you know, I think we create an impact, or I'd like to think we create an impact in some people's lives, and we help them either, you know, create financial freedom or whatever it may be. So we have a positive impact on the things we do every day. Obviously, financial freedom. I love the idea of being my own boss. I love the idea of not being constrained by whatever I would like to do in my life. Overall happiness. I think, like, I just want to be happy. I want to create a nice place for people to work. I want to be a happy person. I want to meet happy people. I think you surround yourself with good people. You put good vibes out. Good things happen to you. And I subscribe to the fact that you get what you put out and put good energy out. And Aaron and I are just trying to do that. We're trying to kind of build a business by doing good for other people, and it seems like it's reciprocating. I think at the end of the day, he's got to do it because you know, you really want to at the end of the day, and that's why you do the 17-hour days.
Yeah. Good job. That's great. No, that sounds excellent.
Absolutely. So how can people reach out and contact you if they're looking to get a hold of you?
Comment below if you are in the chat. If not, check out the Finlay team on Instagram. We have a YouTube page. We're trying to push some content out there at the moment. We're pretty close to 500 subscribers. I would say you can go on our website. You can give us a call there. You can either call Aaron and I's phone number. We can either leave that in the chat below, or you can go on our Instagram page, and all our contact information is on there. So we're available by phone, call, text, DM, email, whatever you guys need. Give us a call. Reach out.
No pigeons? No?
No.
You can send a pigeon. It might take a little while, but probably faster than some brokers. So.
Yes, I would definitely agree with that comment.
Wow, cool. It's been great chatting with you and getting to know you as well.
Yes, well.
I love what the content you're putting out. You're very active, so I know you're going to be very, very successful. And it's so true. The relationships you build will get you much further. I find this industry is kind of like the internet. Well, for those people my age, remember time before the internet when we were 14 years old.
I don't know what he's talking about.
So before then, you had to memorize stuff and know things. Now you need to know how to access the information. So that's what the internet allows. And the same thing happens to a network. So it's who you know and how you can tap into that money or those partners or those relationships. So that's the way I see it. So that's great. Yeah. I think you have the right recipe there. So.
I agree. Thanks so much for having us on. We're actually going to have to get together when it's all said and done and drink a bottle of wine together.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, Jennifer's actually from St. Thomas, so not too far from you guys, London, Ontario. So.
Oh, they're in London?
No, they're in Kitchener.
Kitchener. Oh, okay.
Oh, on the way.
Yeah, it's on the way.
So yeah, we have Lindsay from St. Thomas. Go St. Thomas. We love Jumbo.
That's hilarious. I grew up in London, so I know exactly what you're talking about. I definitely.
Cool. Yeah, we studied in London. I moved down to London anyway, and we studied at Fanshawe College. And
cool. Yeah.
Back when you could get a house for $69,000 in London. That's a while ago.
He's making all these terrible references that make us sound so
when we
old.
were babies.
Stop it, not that old.
We were just babies back then. So.
Anyways, have a great night, guys.
Thank you for having us.
Real estate.
Yeah, cheers.
Pleasure. Cheers, guys.
Yep. Chin chin.
See you later. Bye.
Adios.